Hi! I remembered the microphone button, so yay! Hello, hello, hello! Welcome, welcome, welcome! How are we doing? How is everyone? I feel like I haven't seen you all in forever. Please let me know if you can see, hear, everything looks good on your end so I can adjust accordingly. And then we will start from the top of the hour so that way everybody can filter in and we can all look through the cards together. Yay, thank you, Mystify. Yay. That is such a fun screen name. The way it's worded and everything, it works so well. How was everyone's weekend? How has your week been? I know yesterday was kind of a big day, a big draining day. Hello, Celia. Welcome. Misty. I like it. Can do. So this is going to be quite the interesting deck, I think, to go through. Doreen's quite the controversial figure within the community. I don't quite know exactly how I feel about her since I don't know her personally. I can't really comment on any of that, but what I do know is I'm not linking any links in the description box for to purchase this deck because she has asked specifically not to have the publishers publish her decks any longer. And I think a few of them went to a, I'll call it a ghostwriter. So a separate person, Radley Valentine. So those decks are now his decks. But this one specifically, this is one that she's like, nope, we're not putting that out new anymore. So anybody that is selling this deck currently is a personal seller, and I can't verify that for you guys, and I do not want to, you know, put that out there to potentially have issues for your guys' finances. So I'm not going to do that, and I'm also going to respect her wishes about not, you know, adding the links in that either. So, yeah, it's a mess. Hey, Luxora Studios. Okay, hopefully I pronounced that right. Yeah, I did. Thanks. And yeah, no, Doreen is no longer within the community. If you guys are wondering, if you don't see comments or the commenters in the chat, I am streaming simultaneously on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And for those of you who are watching the upload, I will have a timestamp in the description box when you can switch and skip to the flip through, because I am on here earlier than the flip through time, just because I want to make sure tech issues are non-existent, that I can fix whatever screws up. So Lux Aura. I am horrible with pronunciation, so I do forgive, please forgive me. That's all I want to say. I do apologize. Hey, Joan. Hey, Lourdes. We've missed you. Lux is okay. Okay. Yeah, her original decks are absolutely ridiculous. I saw on Amazon, this one currently is $85, but I've seen it go for $200 on eBay. I've seen other decks of hers, like her Romance Angels. They're like $300, $500. Some decks are like $800, and I'm like, for what? The name? Like, I get that she's no longer publishing them, so there's value in that, I guess, for certain people, but like, the romance deck is ridiculous. I've heard good things, but I've also heard bad things. Some decks are under Rattleigh Valentine's name now, so like the Power Angel Power Thought cards or whatever it's called, tarot, and certain ones are under his name, so that way, you know, people can still buy them. I don't know, but she's denounced the community, so she's born again. So a lot of people think it's a slap in the face, which I tend to agree. And it's a shame, really. And I mean, I get it. It's her personal views. It's her personal beliefs. I get it. But at the same time, it's a big slap in the face to a community which uplifted her. So she does still publish things, and she writes Christian-themed stuff now. So, I mean, good for her for staying true to who she is. But at the same time, like, there's controversy due to that. Yeah, hang on to them if you have them and they're original. Yeah, some of the prices are astronomically high. Like, I get it. It's now considered like collector. The one that I have today, I found secondhand. So, I did not exchange any kind of obscene amount of money for it. So that's, I guess, good. In fact, it was gifted to me. So even more good karma out there, I guess. But for tonight's video, I thought it would be interesting to take a look at it. And I feel like some of her decks that I have seen and used were decent and, you know, had a good solid base to it. And this was actually one of the decks that I had been wanting before I found out about what happened to her, or what happened, all of that I just mentioned. So we'll see what happens. I have not actually like flipped through it myself, or oh, hi Jessica, welcome. I have not flipped through it. I've not really like taken a look at the guidebook. I've essentially just put every card back in alphabetical order, and that's it. So I don't know how it shuffles. I don't know anything. I did see that the copyright was 2011. So I think they're great, even better decks coming out. Yeah, a collector's chase. Absolutely. I agree with that. I mean, because quite honestly, a lot of the artwork too is very dated in a lot of her decks, and some of the concepts might be a little dated as well. There's a few that I like. Like I do like her animal tarot, I think, and her fairy tarot, but I don't really use them that often, so it's kind of a wash for me. You have that in your wish list, yeah. Yeah, it does feel like a big slap in the face, doesn't it? It feels like, you know, we helped build you up, and then, you know, I could see her just saying, hey, you know, I don't necessarily follow that path anymore, but like, you know, I understand that you do, and like I want to still continue to be a part of your guys' journey. Like, I mean, I understand growing and relearning and you know, changing and all of that. I understand, but like there's something really inherently icky about just being like, yeah, no, Like, I don't believe it in anymore. So like everything I've ever done, and if you own my decks, it's not true anymore. I don't believe it, yada, yada, yada. When the community bought your stuff and praised your name and like lifted you up in the community, like almost like a false prophet in a way. Like, Hey, Joanna. No, you did not. We haven't even started the flip through yet. In fact, we will be starting in a couple minutes. Yeah, no worries. Right? Like, she really didn't have to say anything. Yeah. She really couldn't have done a worse PR stunt for herself. Like, I don't know. Like, again, get the concept. I get why, you know, she might have felt like she needed to do it. Like, I am not judging her belief system at all. Quite honestly, we all go through, you know, growth and changes of ideas, but at the same time, it just really, there's something icky about that. And within our community, there's a lot of discord about, like, do we continue to like talk about her? Do we continue to even like look at the decks, even, you know, talk about them? What do we do? Do we support Rattly Valentine? All of this stuff because of her action. And I think it's important to look at the works. I think it's important to see where she came from and, you know, celebrate the fact that she did help kind of bring together certain ideas for the community. But at the same time, we have to be critical about, like, okay, well, this happened. So we need to remember that this happened and it was her choice to do it. But as far as like paying astronomical prices for her decks now that were original, because I don't know if they are or not, I think that's ridiculous. I think it just goes to profit the individual who has the deck. Does nothing for her, except continually lift her up in a way that she doesn't want to be lifted up. If that makes sense at all. Oh, I'm sorry. It was a busy day. Ugh. It's Wednesday too, so, you know, it's like right in the middle of the week, the work week, and you're like, I'm done. It's the same old when people say they're born again or found another path. They spout it to others like an ex-smoker preaching to smokers. You know, and that's the thing, like, you know, if it works for you, fine. But, like, with anything, like, don't shove it in my face and expect me to accept it. Like, like, you do you, and that's cool. But at the same time, like, just because you are on that path does not mean that I'm following you. Like, does not mean I am taking the same advice you are. So, I mean, again, I'm respectful to whoever believes what, you know, like, you do you. As long as you're not forcing it down my throat and forcing me to believe what, you know, you want to believe. That goes for religion, that goes for diet culture, that goes for, you know, books, that goes for everything. Like, allow me to have my own thoughts and opinions and feelings, and I will do the same for you, because everything is valid because you are having that experience, not me. So, yeah, don't shove things in other people's face. If you found something that works for you and you're excited about it, awesome. That, I mean, you can celebrate that and you can talk about it, but it's not something that you should quote unquote preach to other people, right? It's not like you're going to go up to a stranger and be like, you know, not once have I ever had any other kind of form of religion come knocking on my door. I'm just going to say that. I would never pay a lot of money for her old decks. I mean, yeah, so there's also the argument of the knockoffs, right? There's also the argument of that's still counterfeit. That's still copyright infringement. And while I agree with that, I also agree, like, at the same time, there's an argument for, okay, so you don't want to buy her deck, the original deck, because her name's on it and it's overly priced. But at the same time, you're willing to buy the same deck that's not the same quality, still with the same name. Like, you're still buying the same, like, the name. You're still buying that, even though you're paying so much more less. So you're still technically supporting that thought. So I know it's a weird, train of thought, but at the same time, it's like, if you wouldn't buy a counterfeit deck from any other author or artist, why would you do that for her just simply because it's not being published anymore? You know what I mean? Like, it's still not right. It's a very gray area. And I don't know if I would condone it. However, I understand it. But yeah, the colors nothing's ever really the same. That's why it's a knockoff, right? That's why it's like $8. Oh, I made it. I just finished this. It's a little vest. I'm very excited about it because summer's coming up. So it has like fringe. It's not my pattern. It's a pattern I got off of Yarnspirations. It has like a little bralette that matches that I still have to make, and I'm still trying to work up my body confidence to wear that, but summer's coming soon. Oh, thanks. All right, so it's time to get into the deck. Let's do this. Hey, Louise. All right, so hopefully you all can hear me, see me, everything looks good. We are going to take a look at the Life Purpose Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. So this is 44 cards and a guidebook. At the time of this deck's production, it retailed for $15.99 in the US and $15.95 in Canada. So it now retails for over $80 wherever you can get it. And I don't condone it. Don't get knockoff decks. Don't do any of that. We just had that conversation. All right. It was published by Hay House. Alrighty, the back says, when you know your purpose, life takes on harmonious and abundant qualities. This deck, written by Doreen Virtue, will allow you to conduct accurate and trustworthy readings to explore your career and spiritual path. Each of the 44 beautifully illustrated cards contains an illuminating message from the angels related to this topic. The accompanying guidebook explains the general meanings and of the cards and provides specific details that can offer you more clarity. Whether you're seeking answers for yourself or your loved ones and clients, these cards can yield valuable insights. The angels are happy to guide every aspect of your life purpose. Alrighty. So like I said, I haven't really gone over this myself. The only thing that I have done is put the cards in alphabetical order. So let's take a look real fast. As you can see, the copyright is 2011. I just want to take a look at the table of contents here, see what we are getting into. Oh, thanks. I love the fringe too. Misty. Alright, so how to work with it, and then it goes through the meanings, and I love an individual page number for the specific card. Okay. What is my life purpose is the question I'm most commonly asked, and with good reason. Okay. These oracle cards were designed to help you identify your specific life purpose. They show you different forms of missions in order to give you insight about your soul's chosen path. As you draw a card, notice your body's reaction. You'll know you're on the right track when it relaxes and feels simultaneously joyful and peaceful. All right. Clear your deck, concentrate, ask a question, shuffle, choose a card. Alrighty. 3 card spread, and it says you can use them with multiple card decks. Okay, then it goes in the meanings. Alright, let's get into it. It does have a foil on the side here. Gold. And it is a gloss. It's very soft looking. Okay. So in typical Doreen fashion, it looks like there's a little blurb underneath the picture. I still feel like a lot of her cards have a lot of negative space. It almost feels like it's wasted space when the art could be expanded. Cardstock is decent. It's thinner than like Hay House's current gloss cardstock. But yeah, I'm interested to see how it shuffles. So even within a lot of her new age, quote unquote, decks, she used a lot of angel imagery. The art is really pretty. I don't know why this looks kind of funny to me. This reminds me of, you guys remember Abercrombie and Fitch? And they would have the models, the shirtless models, be outside the store greeting customers and like trying to entice you in. That's what this reminds me of. Yeah. Hi Ferris, how are you? It just looked like he was like play searching, you know, acting. Ooh. I just feel like almost like you're looking through a binocular. Like you have like such a small tiny viewpoint of the card's images. I don't know, maybe I'm alone in that thinking, but it's just like the images are cut off. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, again, I would want more. You know what I don't see a lot of in here? I don't see a lot of diversity. I like the dolphins though. Yeah, I think this would be a very interesting deck to work with for like past life, for healing, as well as like, you know, trying to figure out your next steps. Sometimes we get stuck. Yeah, window into the past, totally get that. That's really pretty. Yeah, it was never your favorite. I mean, this one specifically I feel is a lot better than her other people decks as far as the style goes. Yeah, if this had just like a little highlight around it to where the background you can still see what's going on, that would be better. I don't mind the bottom being cut off for the blurb, but like this is just distracting. And it seems like there's different art styles within this deck. Like this is kind of not as realistic as the builder one. It's just kind of a little all over the place. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's just something that I've noticed. Yeah, a lot of really good advice going on. I agree. Yeah, it might be hard. I know for me personally, it might be a little hard for me to read with this because I would have that bias in my head of like, oh, like that's what I should be doing. Hey, Louvre music. Not really feeling it. Totally get that. Yeah, the borders are kind of annoying in my opinion. Like just things are cut off weird. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, it looks like art in a religious book. I totally get that. Yeah. Lots of white, pretty, attractive angels. Yeah. Oh, wow, we have one different skin color here. Wow. Hair is beautiful. Look at that. Okay, so that was a tally of 1 out of 44. Saints and Angels deck? So this one was copywritten in 2011, but I don't know when it originally came out. Oh, I like the owl. Okay, so we have a few more darker skin. At least it's something for the time it was published. This is cute. Oh, thanks, Rochelle. Bits and pieces kind of deck, yeah. This was your first deck, Joanna? Gotcha. That one's pretty. This reminds me of the religious text, like the angel hovering over the shoulder. You guys, okay, not to be sacrilegious or anything, but you guys know the memes of like, oh, it floated around Reddit and a lot back in the day. I don't know if it's still around, but like, it's like Jesus hanging over like stuff like this. And it's just like the ridiculous, like the meme says like he's talking, but it's not what they're currently doing. If that makes sense. Like it's kind of like a cheeky little jab. I don't know. Makes me laugh. Sacrilegious, I know, to some people, but... ...2011, okay. Right? You know, go figure. They're different skin tones in a society. Go figure. Jeez. Hey, Silver Star. Oh my god, I used to love Touched by an Angel. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, I just got a wave of nostalgia. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no issues with shuffling. It glides pretty nicely. And just so you guys know, because we were talking about like how she denounced our community. So she denounced that in 2017. So I don't know when she started publishing decks because I'm not a Doreen historian. However, I do know that 2017 was when she was like, nope, we're done. I'm not doing it anymore. I don't believe in it. So this was published 6 years before that. So, I mean, it was a fairly new addition to her work. So that's interesting. I have the Lover's Path deck. I love it. I think it's really fun. Hey, Gifted Soul. Yeah, you know, I don't know how long this person had it. I don't know. But, like, all of the cards were there. So that was impressive. Alright, so we're going to read for career change. But yeah, it doesn't, there's no problem with it shuffling. Shuffles just fine, it glides. I mean, with all foiled edged decks, you're going to see the wear and tear. And it usually wears and tears quite quick. So, you know, don't expect your foiled edges to last if you're shuffling. However you shuffle, because it will come undone. I mean, the corners here are even a decent shape, indecent shape, I should say, but they're still kind of worn. Yeah, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can see how there's no foiling there. Interesting. Okay. So, career change. It says, you're embarking upon a career that brings you the joy and abundance you desire and deserve. Love that. Okay, so then we can go to the table of contents here. And it's in alphabetical order, which is so nice. Go to page 27. All right, let's see what this has to say here. Boop. Alright, this card comes to you as validation of your feeling that it's time to change your career. As much as you've grown tired of your present vocational track, you're also wrestling with insecurities about making the change. You're worried about finances and other aspects involved with this decision. Fortunately, the angels want to let you know that they are helping and supporting you. Instead of focusing on what might happen in a negative sense, allow yourself to daydream about positive possibilities. See yourself fully immersed in a meaningful career, making a wonderful income, and succeeding in all that you do. So manifesting. Imagine yourself waking up in the morning excited about the workday before you. These are all very real possibilities if you're willing to go along with your internal guidance. The angels will guide you intuitively one step at a time, so please don't get ahead of yourself and make sudden moves. Instead, stay fully immersed in the present and commit to doing your best. Your career change may be gradual, with you initially delving into another field at a part-time basis. It's the light at the end of the tunnel that helps you stay positive about your present moments. Interesting. Okay, so there are different artists that are involved in this deck. So we have credit in the back, which I like to see. So there's not one particular artist. There's multiple ones that did the different. So that's why the art looks different. Okay, everything is making sense now. All right, so what do we think? What are your thoughts and opinions? Angels that glow screaming out. Hi, Geneva. Viking Mystic, hi. Oh, I'm so happy that my stuff like helps you decide. My videos help you decide. That's awesome. Aw. Do you think she pulled the career change card? She might have. She might have been like, oh snap, okay. Oh gosh, that's funny. Oh, Louise, I have seen this a few times in my life. People get married and are forced to change religion to be with the person. I have also seen people change their lives to be accepted in the new community. People don't change so suddenly unless forced. Yeah, I can see that. That definitely makes a lot of sense. I like I said earlier, I don't really know much about her. I don't know much that isn't publicly available, so I don't know any internal struggles or anything like that. So, like, I reserve no judgment for her decisions, but as someone, a part of the community, it is really disheartening to be slapped in the face with that. Like, she didn't have to go so hard, basically. You know what I mean? Like, we could have all accepted it and been happy for her had it been a more tactful way to approach the situation. So, and that's just my opinion when it comes to it. Like, I don't think I could ever be that way. Because it's, if you believe so wholeheartedly in something that you even incorporated the, you know, your knowledge and love of the angel realm in it, like, is it that different? Is it that much different from what you're doing now? I just want to know the thought process, which I will never know, because, you know, that's her own personal business. But at the same time, it's like, it's frustrating as a community, because we have all, you know, one of us at one time or another have been praising her name or lifting her up, right? We purchased the decks, the books. In fact, I have a book that I found at the thrift store that she authored. It was like a fairy book of some sort. And I purchased it and I was like, oh, I'll read it later. I never read it. But it's things like that. Like, I've not bought, I don't think I've bought her deck, any of her decks full price. They've been like on sale or something, so I felt a little bit better about that. But yeah, it's just, it's very frustrating when somebody kind of turns their back on the community that helped build them up. You know, it's a little tacky. You like it? Oh, 23 decks now. Nice. The art isn't bringing the vibe together for the deck. It's just my opinion. Yeah, no, like, I totally, this is why we have these discussions. Your opinions are valid. Nostalgic, but does not speak to me. Got it. Going along with what Louise says, it's sad to denounce years of work that she obviously put a lot of work into and her former community. Absolutely, Ferris. I agree. I'm not into the 80s angels with white feather wings. Absolutely. I like that it is a collaborative effort, but I don't know what happened with this person that we were talking about. Oh, Viking Mystic. She essentially denounced New Age stuff. I'll put it at that. She is a born again, I believe, Christian. I'm using that as a blanket term. And now she only writes like Christian based spiritual stuff. She basically went hard against this community and was like, I don't believe in my stuff anymore. We're not getting it published. We're not doing it. Don't sell my stuff anymore. And she also got another person to take over some of her decks. So their name is now on the packaging. Everyone is called to different types of things for certain reasons. Yes, I do like the general idea of the deck because careers is not a theme I see too often. That is true. I agree. It hurts the community in a way to demonize something. I've seen readers do that to start insulting a whole group of individuals. Yeah, like, I don't understand that either. Like, I try to be very respectful about my opinions on, like, everything as a whole, because I can't possibly know the ins and outs of everything. I can't personally educate myself in every single religion and aspect thereof. But, you know, what I do know is that's a simple, basic, common courtesy thing. You don't just, like, turn your back on everything that has rocketed you towards success, right? Like, that sounds really kind of oversimplified, but you know what I mean? Like, people have their own ways of doing things, and people have, hello Southern Rider, good evening, have their own way of, you know, believing and doing things, and, you know, to each their own, and I completely understand, but at the same time, we all were just kind of, like, taken aback by that. Yeah, she didn't have to go on the attack. Yeah, I completely agree. No, all the angels do seem pretty much the same. She started the whole angelic movement in the community based on something that happened to her that she claimed she was saved by an angel. Right, I think it's hard for this community to not be seen as crackpots, right? Like, I get it. Like, I totally get it. But this is also, like, something like this with the angels in... Hey, Katango! Welcome! Something like this, when you add angels into your oracle readings, like, I think of Diana Cooper and her archangel decks. Like, they're not overly religious-based in Christianity. Like, they keep it open for all faith-based people to use the decks, which I find very, very welcoming. Like, I'll be the first to admit I don't know anything about angels or archangels. That's not something that I have, like, really delved into, and it's also something that I don't want to really, like, dive into because of past issues within my own religious upbringing and stuff. Like, I don't really kind of vibe with that. However, it makes it accessible for people of all faith-based, you know, to use the decks and to learn divination and feel comfortable with it. And so, you know, you see a lot of Christian faith-based communities starting to dive into, you know, divination. And that's amazing and wonderful because, again, there's nothing inherently evil about these tools because, again, they're tools and everybody has intuition. So it's a way for you to help, you know, use it for therapy, use it for, you know, just figuring out where you need to do or what you need to do or where do you need to go during the day or, you know, where your mind's at, etc. Fill in the blank. So it's a tool to be used. And so you see a lot more of, you know, the Christian-based religions tapping into it and it being accepted into it. And they start with oracles because it's not tarot. And it doesn't have the devil in it. And it doesn't have, you know, scary images in it. So they start out with this. And then they start finding that, you know, they're going deeper and deeper, which is fine. And it's kind of awesome that there's that bridge, right? But when you demonize the bridge that you created within the communities that are separate, then you completely negated the whole time that you spent working on it. You know what I mean? Like, then you kind of alienate both camps that you're in or you've been in. Yeah, Diana Cooper's works are great. I like her Archangel Animal deck. I feel like I connect with that a lot more. Yeah, we totally would have accepted her new path. Absolutely, Silver Star. Yeah, it's just like, you didn't have to go so hard. Hey, Mysterious Library. Hi, you are welcome. The thing is, angels are in the Bible, even archangels, so I'm confused. I always thought she was Christian. That's why for a while I only purchased her oracle decks when I started out. Yeah, I couldn't tell you, Gifted Soul. I don't really know much about her background other than what we've been talking about. I don't know. I really don't know why, like, yeah, like, why would she, if they're in here and she's accepted that, like, it doesn't make much sense to alienate. And I mean, nothing in here is overly religious. Like, I didn't hear anything about God or... Oh, never mind. I just literally flipped to a page and prayers allow God and the angels to intervene in your free will choices. So, okay, so there's that. So then why... I don't know. I don't want to think too hard about it because honestly, it's not even a... It's a moot point at this juncture. But the way that I feel... and take this with a grain of salt. Whenever I see God, like just God in a book, a guidebook or whatever in the cards, I look at it as like the universe. I don't necessarily think of it as a Christian-based God or anything like that. Whenever they come up in the books or anything like that, it's always, you know, the universe, because some people believe that the universe is God and vice versa. So it doesn't offend me personally when things like that are involved. I don't really feel like that's an overly religious thing. However, when you start putting like more detailed themes of Christianity in there, that's when I'm kind of like, okay, this might be a little too much. And that's kind of how I feel with like her angel decks. It feels a little more so to that side than just neutral. Aren't we all crackpots in some ways? Yes. I think I had experience with an angel once. Oh, wow. That's really cool. Oh, Katanga, you're so sweet. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. Yeah, so Viking Mystic, absolutely. Respecting each other's faith. Absolutely. And like I said, like, I don't have an issue. Like, I've kind of dipped my toes in a few different branches of Christianity, and personally it never worked out for me. I never got it. I didn't feel right. But I respect other people who choose to believe it and go through it. Like, that is your choice. Where it gets dicey for me is when I'm being told that, like, I'm going to hell, or that if I don't repent, like, I'm going to the bad place, or, I need to seek God's permission, or I need to seek his help, and all of these horrible things. Like, I would never talk to a stranger that way. Like, you need to accept the mother in your life. You need to practice tarot. Like, I would never go up to a stranger and do that. But yet, some of those people in those faith-based religions will automatically just do that to me and tell me that I'm in the wrong and that I'm, not in not going to go to the good place because of my actions. And it's like, do you even know me? Like, you do not know me. And for what all you know, I could be practicing that religion. You don't know me from Adam, but yet you come on and knock on my door and tell me that I have to do what you say. Like, I don't understand that. So that's where I draw the line. Like, if you have that mindset where you're going to force and push me to believe in one way and not take my feelings and my own experience into account, like, and you're a stranger, no. No, we're not going to do that. So absolutely, if you have a faith that you practice, that is completely valid. That is your decision and the way you feel and the way and what you believe. That's it. Respect other people's religions. The problem that we have now, especially in the USA, we have a lot of very loud people trying to make decisions and laws for people, one community, trying to pass all of these laws for the whole country that doesn't practice the same way they practice. So that's where it's awful and horrible, which is kind of similar to what she did here, right? Where she's just like, I denounce everything about this community. I'm going to do my own thing. So that's kind of where we're just like, ah! She even has a Jesus Oracle deck. I had no idea, Gifted Soul. Wow. I mean, so she was on this path to begin with. But, like, again, you can be super Christian and utilize an Oracle deck. Yeah, totally, Louise. Treat others with respect. Yeah. Oh, and not to continuously bash on religion, I feel like, I'm just going to say it like this. There are opportunists in every walk of life, in every religion, and they will take advantage of people who are good-willed and people who want nothing but the best for others. And so those opportunists usually are the ones higher up in the communities, correct? So it's in everybody's best interest to do research in whatever community they are joining and whoever they are standing, because you never know what intentions the higher ups in the community have. So we see it in every religion. We see it in every different political party. We see it everywhere. So all I'm going to say about it all is the respect needs to be there, and do your research about what the intentions are within your own community. Yeah, she's no longer putting the cards out. She denounced everything. Oh, Silver Star, absolutely. That's what I got out of it. Was a man telling me I wasn't good enough. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Misty. Do as you do, as long as you do not force that onto others. Absolutely. Oh, the Bible Belt. Yeah, Geneva. That's hard. That is hard. I like that, JL. She is who she is now because of her past. See, that's the point. Like, you got lifted up from one community, and then you just completely slapped them in the face and said, nope, I will take your money and I will take your praise, but I am no longer accepting your walk of life. Thank you. Next. Like, that's essentially what this is. And that's such a shame. It's so sad. And, you know, there's not much we can do about it now. But it's interesting to look at her works and see, like, as you were saying, how it was inspired by Christianity. But it was kind of neutral. Like, this deck is pretty neutral. If you don't, like, read into the God thing, because again, everybody can have their own version of God, right? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be Christian or, you know, Catholic, etc., whatever, you know, religion. A God can just simply be like the universal term for a higher power. So that doesn't really bother me. But it is interesting to see how the direction went, right? Oh, my religion is love. Hi, Sharon. Yeah. No, I don't think we are bashing religion. I don't see anybody bashing it. It's just critiquing it. It's not necessarily saying no one has said don't believe in something. No one has said that. It's been a critique of, like, what you don't do. I don't see anybody bashing, because absolutely believe what you want to believe. Just be respectful about it. Again, no other religion have I seen knock on a door and be like, hey, let me tell you about our Lord and Savior. It's like, this is my home. This is my relaxing time. Like, I do not know. No. No other religion has gone to other countries that already have their own established faith-based religions and told them, no longer can you practice this. You need to practice what we practice. No other religion. Cannot see, other than Christian-based and Mormonism. And I don't consider Mormonism Christian-based. That's its own level of chaos. And I can say that because that's kind of where my background was. So, yeah, it's insane to see that, you know, that's the only type of religion that will go around and do that. At least in my experience, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, like, we're not bashing it. We're just critiquing it, because it shouldn't be like that. Everybody should find religion how they come to it on their own, whether it's through their family or, you know, personal research, or how they feel. It shouldn't be, you know, I'm forcing you because I'm going to scare the G's out of you. Or, you know, I'm forcing you because that's what I feel is right. That's all I'm saying. Follow my feelings and emotions. Absolutely. Yeah, see, gifted soul, like, absolutely. Absolutely. You respect everybody's path, and that's fine. Absolutely. MC Bell, perfectly said. Perfectly said. All religions have a common end goal, and that it's all about community and charity. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm just catching up on everything. is very individual. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a touchy subject. Religion is a very touchy subject because it is very personal, right? But I think we can all agree that, as long as they stay in their lane and, they follow what they believe, and then they respect that you stay in your lane and you follow what you believe, then it's fine. We all come from different walks of life, and we all believe in something different, whether it is from day one when we're born and we're brought up in this culture and community, or we follow a certain path and then, we find another. So, I mean, all of this to say is that her life change and religion change was valid. However, it wasn't done in a tactful way. It wasn't done in a respectful way. And so that's why there was outrage and hurt within the community. Because again, when you build somebody up and you respect their work and what they have to say, and you look up to them and you put your money into them, for them to just denounce everything that you just did for them, that's not very tactful. There's other ways that it could have been done to where she would still be respected within the community. However, it just wasn't done that way. So, unfortunately, it is what it is now. But yeah, I will not and I won't put the links for her deck in the description box like I normally do with any other deck, because I can't verify, and I want to also respect her wishes of not, having her deck be sold. But like I said, I wanted to take a look at this with you guys and get your thoughts and opinions about how you feel about her, how you feel about her works, how you feel about this specific deck, because this deck I thought had a really good concept, and it could be very beneficial and useful for a lot of different readings, a lot of different clients, especially if people are just kind of in that waiting realm. Maybe this would be a good deck for people to get advice and help to see what they would be good at and what they could kind of put their eggs in that basket. And so that was what I kind of wanted to look at. I do like that there were a few different cards in the deck, like, it's time to decide or something like that. So that was interesting. And then maybe certain qualities that you are good at that could be used to further something else. So if you were good at with children, or, and something like this was interesting. However, personally, I don't mind the different art styles for each card. But that's it kind of breaks the lineup when you see them all in a spread, right? Kind of looks a little out of place if the glare wasn't there. That's just my 2 cents. And yeah, the border thing for me is not fun. Do I knock points for it? Maybe, because it could have been done a little bit better. But it's not the be-all end-all. I just feel like I'm looking through a tiny scope, and I want to see the full picture. All right, what did I miss? Hey, tortoiseshell. Yeah, so yeah, tainted is definitely the word to be used here. It's tainted that, and again, if you were somebody who bought her decks from the very beginning, or followed her career and helped her throughout with that, it does taint that version of your enjoyment and your faith in using the tool, correct? I'm going to use this. I'm not saying anything controversial about this performer, but Chris Brown, Michael Jackson, that sort of a thing. Like, isn't that tainting when, like, you can't listen to their music the same, correct? Like, that's kind of how this is. Like, now that you know all of these things about that artist, it's like, do I even listen to that music? I can't enjoy it. I know the background of what happened. Like, those are polarizing figures. Those are very controversial figures, whether, you know, whatever you know about them and all of that, etc. Oh, Mystified, thank you. Misty, you're so sweet. Uh-oh, glitching. Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold on, let's... Oh, is that better? Nope. Hold on, I'm gonna stop the music here. Alright, hold on. I see that now. Dropped frames. Okay, yeah, can you fix it within yourself? Thank you, Misty. That's just so sweet. Okay, hopefully it's better now. Evil is life spelled backwards. Yeah, sometimes it feels like that. Yeah, these are just tools, you know. That's all that this is just a tool. That's what all divination tools are. They're the divination tools. No, stop. Okay, you need to stop glitching. I don't know how to fix it. We called it earlier. We called it tech issues.